So today I'm going to be doing a book review video. I have 7 books, and the first book I don't have with me because it's not an actual copy. It's on my mom's Kindle, and it's the first book in this series. It's called, I guess it was called the Secret series or something, and it's by V.C. Andrews, and the first book in the series was called Secrets in the Attic. Secrets in the Attic. And it's about this girl named, I don't remember what her name was. I forget, but it was about this girl who had this one friend, and her friend had this guy, her stepdad, or her mom's fiance or something in her life, that she always said would do things to her in the middle of the night, and she didn't like it, and she wanted to get back at him. And her and her friend come up with this one plan, and here, the plan doesn't work out the way it happened, where her friend murdered her stepdad, or I guess it was kind of like a fatherly figure in her life. And so her friend ends up living in her, the main character's attic. And she's trying to make sure that, like, nobody finds out about this, and she's trying to lie to make sure that people don't find out about it and stuff like that. And then towards the end of the book, she gets found, and her friend's mother, at the end of the book, tells them that her brother, the main character's brother, that she's pregnant with his baby, and their parents decide to adopt the baby and raise it as their own when it gets born, because I think she was in a jail, and then in the second book it says she's in some kind of mental institution. So the second book in this series is called Secrets in the Shadows. It's by V.C. Andrews. This is what it looks like, and this is about the daughter, and her name is Alice. And, the main character's name was Zephora, or something like that. She wants to know more about her mother, because everybody thinks in this town that she's going to end up like her mother, and go crazy, and kill people, and all this stuff. And so she's like, all I want to do is change my image so people don't think that I'm going to end up like my mother, or whatever. So she decides that she wants to go find out more about what happened that night with this boy, and then this boy dies, and people are blaming her for it, and all this stuff. And it really wasn't, I would say, a good series, because it was only 2 in the whole set, and like the 5 like in the older sets. And this next one, I've read these books, to be honest, like 4 weeks ago, and I'm doing the book review on it now because I started working again for the summer season, and I haven't had enough time to do it. And last time I was going to do it, but then I got caught up in other things. So some of these books I know a lot of them I remember what happened, some of them I don't. This one is one that I kind of remember. This one I really didn't like, and this is called Passenger to Frankfurt, the city in Germany, I think. Frankfurt's in Germany. I know it's the capital of Kentucky, but this is the one in Germany. And this is by Agatha Christie, and some of her books I like, some I don't. I don't know, sometimes I like her books, sometimes no, it just depends on what it's about. So this is what it looks like. Now, this book was about this man who was gonna go to Frankfurt, and him and this person switched passports or something, and he ends up trying to figure out where she is or something like that to get his stuff back and stuff. And along the way he's trying to figure out what her plan is, because he swapped it with a girl, I think. I don't know, I can't remember. It really wasn't that great of a book, so I really didn't get into it. This is another one I really didn't get into. I didn't finish this book. These are the Janet Evanovich books. They're the Stephanie Plum series of books that are about, like, they go from 1 to, I think, like, 20 something. And this is the first one in the series. I didn't buy any more of these because I thought I was going to like them, and I bought a couple of them. And then I didn't like them. I could never get into them. I don't know why, I just couldn't. And it's like one of those things where, like, it's a series of books that everybody likes, and then you read it, and then you're like, why does everybody like this series? So this is called One for the Money. It's the first book in the series. This is what it looks like. It's about Stephanie Plum, and it's about how she lives in Trenton, New Jersey, and she needs to find a job because she lost her old job, and she's going to be a bounty hunter. And her first mission is about this guy named Joe Morelli or something, and she's trying to find him, and it's like a cat and mouse kind of game, stuff like that. And I just never got into these books. Like, it's one of those books that I'm like, I really wanted to get into because her books seem like they'd be good because she's written so many of them, but they just weren't that good. So this is a series, and I like this series, and if you guys like mystery series, I highly recommend you read this series. I get these as I get them. I don't read them in a certain order, like I know some people do, but I just get them when I get them. I don't know what the number in the series is. This is called The Cat Who Knew Shakespeare. It's just called The Cat Who series, I guess. That's what I call it, because that's all it is. It's called The Cat Who, and then blah, blah, blah. And it's by Lilian Jackson Braun, and this is what it looks like. And this is about this man who lives in a small town. His name's Quill, and he solves mysteries with his 2 cats, Coco and Yum Yum. And he... what is it? And he just... I'm trying to read the back of these books so I kind of remember what the book was about. I know what the main thing was about, but I forget some of the parts to it. It was about this murder that happened where this widow, people think this widow, well, when they were married, only married him because he was rich or whatever, and he's trying to figure out who really killed him and to clear the widow's name. And why it's called The Cat Who Knew Shakespeare is called the one cat, Coco. He decides that he's going to help Quill solve the mystery by sending him clues through Shakespeare plays like Hamlet and King Lear, I think, and stuff like that, and that helps him solve the mystery. This one, I didn't know this one was a set, like it was like a series. This one is called the Orchard Valley Grooms, and there's one that's called the Orchard Valley Brides. I didn't know that this was a series until I seen the inside of the book or whatever, and it said, oh, check out the Orchard Valley Valley Brides or whatever. And this book, I guess this is like the second one in the set, and it has 2 stories in one. This is one of her books, has 2 stories in one. And it's about these 2 sisters named Stephanie and Nora, where they come back into town because their dad had a heart attack, and as he got surgery, his dad said that he met, like in a near-death experience, he met their mother in the spirit world, and she told him the future for his, for their daughters, because all they had was daughters. And it says, oh, who they were going to marry and how many kids they were going to have. And the sisters really don't believe it, and they're trying to get their dad to realize that that was just probably like his own mind concocting something, not actually that it happened. And he decides that he's going to prove it, and he tries to persuade his daughters to get together with these guys and stuff. And it was a really cute book. I really liked it. I would really want to read the other one in the series. I don't know if the first one, if the Orchard Valley Brides are the first or second one in the series. I don't know. But if I ever find it, I'll have to read it. So this is called The Photo Album. This is a series, too, that I highly recommend that you read. It's called Annie's Attic Mysteries. And these books are always written by different women. I don't know why, but they always are. This one was written by Marlene Chase. And this is what it looks like. And this book was about Annie, who, she gets help to solve her mysteries through this local knitting club called the Hook and Needle Club of Stony Point, and she finds these pictures in her attic, this photo album, and she wants to find this woman or this girl or this guy. I forget if it was a man or a woman. Oh, it's like this photo album, and she's trying to figure out where this picture was taken from. Now I remember. She tries to figure out where this picture was taken from, and she's trying to get help from the people in the town and in her needle club, in her hook and needle club, to figure it out, and she does. And these books are really cute. Like, they're just like the Cat Who books. I read them as I get them. I don't read them in a certain order. I don't know what number this book is in the set. But yeah, I really liked that book. So those were my books. Sorry if I didn't really remember some of them, because like I said, I read these books a while ago, and I'm just getting around to reading, to doing this book review video. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.